His work hangs on walls across every continent, a global reach springing from Greatjoy Ndlovu's attitude towards art. He sees creativity as a privilege, and from his Joburg studio, uses this gift to change our outlook on life for the better.
You haven't had an easy journey to become the artist you are today. What has been that constant push that's helped you along the years?
I've always believed in myself. Like, I wanted to be an artist when I was a young kid. So I've tried so many things. I was attending art schools, art workshops, exhibitions and all that to nourish myself to become a good artist one day. So the only way I was going to do it was to come to SA in Joburg to look for platforms which will just mentor me and put me in the space which I wanted to be one day.
When the young Zimbabwean joined Jozi's Living Artist Emporium, they polished and nurtured his skills into a style the market could not ignore.
This piece, it's such a stark contrast with the charcoal and the likeness of the actual canvas. Why have you decided to go with that medium?
I've been a good drawer since I was a kid. Painting is something which I learned along the way. It wasn't my strong point like that. But I wanted to get my own signature. I wanted to be more expressive. So charcoal was the medium which I opted for because it gave my work depth and all that.
Greatjoy lives his art. He sees no division between his personal life and being an artist, so it's an exciting puzzle finding the meaning in each piece.
I think it's almost apt that these women are here trying to uplift this man in his struggle, because I know your mom is a big inspiration for you.
Yeah, actually my mother, she's a dressmaker. When we were growing up, she used to teach us how to do stuff using our hands and knitting, cutting fabric and all that. So I feel like that's where I started my whole creative process, being an artist, the work ethic, like being committed to your work, pushing yourself to the limits.
You aren't an artist who just depicts the struggle. You're somebody who likes to help and give back.
The whole idea of me being an artist, I feel like I can be an influential person. I can interlink with anybody, different people, different spaces in life. So for me, I feel like I'm in a privileged position to give back to the community, to make an impact in the world, to push myself to the limit. Because I feel like Africa, we have a chance, post-apartheid, post-colonialism, as young African men, we have a chance now to prove ourselves that we can do something positive to the world.
His home base at the Artists' Playground in New Doornfontein houses many African artists. The inner city space is ideal for exploring the dynamics between traditional life and the modern world.
What's the process from that initial spark of an idea to putting it on canvas to the completion of one of your masterpieces?
So the way I work is when I walk around the city, I capture references. Sometimes I work with photographers for my reference because sometimes you won't really get what you want every day. So when I compile my references, I work on a lot of sketches, like a lot of small sketches, so I can compile the final product and just visualize what can come out of the sketches.
A lot of people say your work is a social commentary, kind of describes a lot of the things that are happening. What's the take-home message you'd want people to have when they look at your work?
I just want to inspire other guys that they can do something out of their own crafting, own purpose and all that. Yeah. Come and check out your sketch.
Let's see. Oh, dude. Nice. I mean, of course, I get to take this home, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Someone who's proud to have an entire Ndlovu collection gracing the walls of her house is art dealer and promoter Lee Rain. We featured her gallery of a home on Top Billing 2 years ago, and since then, her Ndlovu originals have become the defining feature.
Lee, you're an avid supporter of local talent. How did you come across Greatjoy and his work?
Coming across Greatjoy was by complete chance. I happened to be in Ellis Park area and popped into a studio. And whilst at the studio, I met Greatjoy and other amazing, talented young artists. And I just felt that there was a need to support them with media and perhaps even curate exhibitions for them.
You've known Greatjoy for a while now. What makes him special and kind of unique compared to the other artists you have here?
Sure, everything. He's a wonderful guy, but I think for me the most humbling thing about Greatjoy was that he was so humble and still is to this day. And I think that he can take anything and effortlessly have an idea and put it onto canvas, and it just becomes beautiful and special, and that's what people want.
The evidence was in the atmosphere at that night's collaboration with a prominent interior design agency. To Michael Harrison, the partnership was instant chemistry.
This is an absolutely amazing event tonight. I feel like the unison between interior design and the artwork is beautiful. What inspired it?
Well, art has always been an integral part of what we do at Head Interiors, and we're also passionate about working with emerging artists and helping and growing them wherever possible. And that, through social media, led me to Greatjoy. A few years ago, I just saw a small piece of his work. I decided, hey, I like that. We met, and then I was thinking, hey, but art, interiors, they should be an absolute seamless mix. So why don't we put something together? And we curated the space with the art and the interiors, and I mean, well, I think it just worked out so beautifully.
What does Greatjoy's work mean to you?
Each piece evokes some kind of emotion, and for me it's incredible to know it's imperative to create emotions in each room. I mean, anyone who understands interior designing will tell you that, and I think his work has really been able to speak to that. It really does create joy, it creates sadness, it creates something, and I love that about an artist.
The man's life is now also the subject of a book, The Path to Greatjoy by Ntsikelelo Mzibomvu.
What inspired you to write about Greatjoy's story?
The guy came a long way from Zim, and he hustled his way through. He worked really hard, and he overcame so many things. And when I listened to his story, I was like, this story needs to be told. And also from a point of collaboration, it made sense for us to collaborate, you know, coming from my space and him coming from his, to just create something really dope. So the path to Greatjoy was just perfect. It was God sent.
How did the relationship between SOS Children's Village and Greatjoy come to be?
I had tracked Greatjoy's amazing journey over the last 2 years, and I thought this man is going to be amazing and great. And I contacted him and I said, Greatjoy, we have an event, we need something to auction at our fundraiser. And he said, for sure. And Greatjoy did the most incredible masterpiece of an image of a woman's face with literally 1 million stories to tell.
Standing here tonight, brother, with everybody coming out in full force to look at your work, celebrated in this way, how does it feel?
Nah, man, it's super humbling, man. So everyone who came here, it makes me a super artist, no? Make me feel like a superman. Well, at least I'm not a superman, I'm just a regular artist like everybody else. Yeah, man, I really appreciate that.
On the heels of this success, Sama will see 3 more auctions of Ndlovu work, including one in London and exhibitions in Cape Town and Los Angeles.